It started with a phone call. May 14th, 2011, 3:07 p.m. 911, what's your emergency? My daughter didn't come home last night. This isn't like her. The voice was steady, but behind it, a storm. That voice belonged to Linda Hargrove, single mother, registered nurse, and now unexpectedly an amateur detective. Her daughter, 17-year-old Emma Hargrove, was last seen at Ridgeway Mall, buying jeans, laughing with friends. Security footage confirmed it. She walked out of the west entrance at 6:12 p.m. After that, nothing. No texts, no calls, no social media activity. Emma was the kind of girl who texted back within minutes. Now hours turned into days. Detective Marcus Klein from the Greene County Sheriff's Department led the case. He told Linda, "We see this all the time, teenagers run off." But Linda knew Emma wasn't running, Emma was taken. The police did a basic sweep, checked the woods near Ridgeway, questioned the ex-boyfriend. He had an alibi. Mall security said they saw Emma talk to a man in a grey hoodie by the bus stop. The footage, blurry, no ID. Linda couldn't sleep, she couldn't eat. She started retracing Emma's steps, found the receipts in her daughter's purse. Looked up timestamps, Emma's last purchase, lemonade from a food stand called Benny's Brews. Linda visited it herself. The vendor, Ben Lockett, said something odd. She was waiting for someone and looked nervous. Linda pressed. Ben hesitated. "Okay, look, she was on the phone with someone. I overheard. She said, 'I'm not sure about this. I don't feel safe.'" That wasn't in the police report. Linda recorded it, sent it to Detective Klein. No response. Then came the second clue. Linda logged into Emma's email, something the cops never did. There it was, a message from a Craigslist-style tutoring site, a man offering cash for SAT help. His name, Gavin J., no last name. But the email had an IP address. Linda called a friend, an old college buddy who worked in IT. He traced it to a motel 12 miles away, the Red Lantern Inn. Linda drove there alone. Manager said no one named Gavin was checked in, but in room 112, checked in under the name George Jensen, was a man who left 2 days ago. She asked to see the room. The cleaner let her in. Room was scrubbed, almost too clean, but under the bed frame, wedged deep, was a hair tie, yellow with a tiny sunflower, Emma's favorite. Linda brought it to the police. Again, they brushed it off. No prints, no body, no crime, no case. But Linda wasn't done. She posted Emma's story everywhere, Reddit, TikTok, Facebook groups. She uploaded the security footage, posted the blurry image of the man in the grey hoodie. 3 weeks later, a woman named Tessa in Michigan messaged her, "Your guy in the hoodie? I swear I saw him. Same hoodie, same walk, creepy vibe." Tessa was right. Security footage from a gas station in Kalamazoo confirmed it. Same hoodie, same gait. He was buying gas, driving a silver sedan, plate number partially visible. Linda sent it all to police. Finally, they acted, ran the partial plate, got a match. Gavin Jolson, age 39, no priors, no job, former tutor, arrested once for stalking, charges dropped, police tracked him to a cabin in Upper Michigan. When they raided it, he was gone. What they found instead was chilling. A map, locations circled in red, Ridgeway Mall, Red Lantern Inn, Kalamazoo, and a final one marked with a red star, a state park near Lake Orion. Cadaver dogs were brought in. They found a shallow grave. Inside Emma's backpack, her phone, her jeans. No body, just evidence. Gavin Jolson hasn't been seen since. He vanished. No bank activity, no digital trace. Interpol has his file. FBI flagged it. But officially, Emma's case remains open. No charges, no closure. Police won't confirm if they believe Emma is dead. Linda doesn't need confirmation. She says, quote, "I know what happened. I know who did it. And I found more than the cops ever did." She keeps the sunflower hair tie in her locket, and every year on May 14th, she returns to Ridgeway Mall, stands by the west entrance, waiting just in case. Because a mother's instinct is a force you don't ignore, and sometimes it's all that's left when the system fails. This is Vanished Whispers, where the unheard speak, and justice never sleeps. Chapter 9. Witnesses in the Shadows. Gap 3S. The investigation took a turn when 2 anonymous witnesses came forward. The first, a night shift janitor at Ridgeway Mall, claimed he saw Emma arguing with a man in a grey hoodie. He kept looking over his shoulder, the janitor said. She looked scared. The second, a bus driver, remembered a girl matching Emma's description boarding his bus, but getting off just one stop later, glancing back nervously. Both statements were recorded, but police dismissed them as unreliable. Linda, however, kept digging. She posted the transcripts online, hoping someone would recognize the voices. Chapter 10, The Missing Minutes, Gap 3 Seconds. Police released partial transcripts of their interviews. Detective Klein: did you see Emma leave with anyone? Mall security: not clearly. The cameras glitched for about 5 minutes. Those missing minutes became the focus. Linda obtained the raw footage. In the static, a shadowy figure appears, dragging something heavy. The police called it inconclusive. Linda called it evidence. She posted the frames online. The internet responded with theories, some plausible, some chilling. Months passed in uneasy silence. Then one rainy evening, Linda's phone rang, a call from a blocked number. She answered, her voice trembling. On the other end, a distorted whisper: "You're getting close. Stop looking." The line went dead. Investigators traced the call to a burner phone purchased in a distant town. Police increased patrols around Linda's home, but no new leads surfaced. The trail grew colder with each passing day. Yet every year, on the anniversary of Emma's disappearance, a single sunflower appears in Linda's mailbox. No note, no sender, just a silent message, a reminder that the truth is still out there, watching and waiting. The mystery remains unsolved. The final chapter is yet to be written. A sudden breakthrough jolts the investigation. An anonymous caller reaches out to the police tip line. The voice is masked, distorted by static, as the transcript of the call is revealed on screen. Distorted caller audio, subtitled: "I saw her that night. She was wearing a red scarf. She looked scared. I think she got into a dark sedan near the old bridge." The call ends abruptly. Detectives scramble to trace the number, but it leads to another dead end. A disposable phone purchased with cash and discarded. Yet when Linda reads the transcript, her heart skips a beat. The red scarf. It was Emma's favorite, a detail never shared with the public. It's a sign. Someone out there knows more. With this new clue, Linda's hope is reignited. She vows to keep searching, convinced that the truth is closer than ever before. A new piece of evidence emerges. A security tape from a gas station near the old bridge. The footage is shaky and grainy, flickering in the dim light. Emma appears on screen, her red scarf unmistakable, accompanied by a shadowy figure whose face is hidden beneath a hood. The police transcript flashes across the screen. Attempting to enhance video, subject remains unidentified. Officers huddle around monitors, replaying the scene frame by frame. Each attempt to sharpen the image only seems to add to the mystery. Meanwhile, Linda sits in a darkened room watching the looped footage over and over. Her eyes narrow in recognition, not at the face, but at the way the figure moves, the walk, the posture. It feels achingly familiar. The tension rises. Could the person in the video be someone from their own lives? The footage ends, unresolved, leaving both Linda and the audience to question. Is the truth hauntingly close, hidden in plain sight? A new voice enters the story, a neighbor, her words trembling as she recounts the night Emma disappeared. "I heard shouting, then a car peeling away," she tells the investigators, her testimony weaving through the quiet tension of the interview room. On screen, the police transcript flickers. Subject reports seeing an unknown individual near the residence multiple times prior to the incident. The neighbor's face remains hidden, her silhouette backlit against a drawn curtain. Cut to Linda, her hands shaking as she hears the account. The pain in her eyes is unmistakable. Each new detail is another weight on her heart. The neighbor continues describing the shadowy figure spotted near the house in the days leading up to Emma's disappearance. Her words cast a new shadow of doubt, hinting that someone had been watching, waiting. The mystery deepens, and for Linda, the hope of finding Emma becomes tangled with growing fear. Has the answer been closer than anyone realized? In the quiet hush of Emma's bedroom, Linda searches for answers. Her hands tremble as she opens a drawer and discovers a letter tucked beneath a stack of notebooks. A letter Emma had hidden from everyone. The handwriting is unmistakably Emma's, but the words reveal a side of her daughter Linda never knew. On screen, the letter's contents appear. Emma writes about a secret relationship, confessing her fear and hinting at threats she's received. The edges of the paper are worn, as if Emma read and reread these words, searching for courage. The camera lingers on Linda's face, tears welling in her eyes, the weight of revelation nearly overwhelming her. Cut to police transcripts. Linda, her voice raw, shares the letter with detectives. The investigators exchange glances. This new evidence points to someone no one had suspected before. Linda sits on Emma's bed, clutching the letter to her chest. The emotional toll is etched in every line of her face. She whispers, "How much did I really know my own daughter?" As the music swells, viewers are left with a haunting question. What other secrets remain hidden in the shadows? The new evidence is a turning point. Police move swiftly, tracing the mysterious figure from the hidden camera footage. In a dimly lit interrogation room, tension hangs thick in the air. Linda sits across from the suspect, her heart pounding as the truth begins to unravel. On screen, shadowy reenactments depict the police tracking down their lead. A familiar face emerges from the darkness. The confrontation is intense. Voices raised, tears shed, secrets spilling out into the harsh fluorescent light. Then, the final revelation. Emma, desperate and afraid, had orchestrated her own disappearance, hoping to escape the threats closing in around her. But her plan went awry, drawing in people she never meant to hurt. The camera lingers on Linda's face as realization sinks in. A mix of relief, sorrow, and disbelief. The case is resolved, but the emotional aftermath is palpable. Linda stands outside the station, the weight of the ordeal etched in her expression. She gazes at the sunrise, a symbol of hope after darkness. Her voice, soft but resolute, closes the scene. Answers bring comfort, but they can't erase the pain. I found my daughter's truth, but it changed me forever. The music swells, carrying the story into silence as the screen fades to black. Just as the dust begins to settle, a new voice emerges from the shadows. The screen flickers to life with the silhouette of a previously unknown witness, a trembling hand clutching a worn photograph. The video blurs the face, but the urgency in their voice is unmistakable. "I saw Emma that night," the witness confides, their words echoing in the quiet aftermath. "But she wasn't alone, and it wasn't who everyone thinks." The camera pans over the photograph. Emma, standing with an unfamiliar figure in the background, time-stamped just minutes after she was believed to have vanished. Investigators, faces tense, compare this new evidence to earlier testimonies. The timelines don't match. Someone has lied or made a terrible mistake. Linda's world, briefly restored, begins to unravel once more. She stares at the photograph, her hands shaking as police reopen the case files. The voiceover deepens. In every story, the truth can shift with a single revelation. As new questions rise from the ashes of old answers, the search for Emma and for justice begins again. The screen fades to black, the music lingering, leaving viewers with a haunting sense of uncertainty. The police station is drenched in harsh fluorescent light, the air thick with anticipation. Linda stands at the front desk, clutching the newly surfaced photograph, her knuckles white. Her voice trembles, but there's steel beneath the fear as she demands to see the lead investigator. Officers exchange uneasy glances. No one is prepared for the storm she brings. Cut to a conference room. Linda slams the photograph onto the table, her words tumbling out in a rush. "You told me you checked every angle. You said you followed every lead. Then explain this." The photograph slides across to the detective, who studies it with furrowed brows, his composure slipping as he realizes the implications. Linda's voice cracks, raw with pain and fury. "My daughter is still out there, and you missed this! How many mistakes have cost us precious time?" Her eyes well with tears, but she refuses to look away. The room is silent, the tension palpable. The detective tries to speak, but Linda cuts him off, her grief boiling over. "You can't give up on her. I won't let you." The camera lingers on Linda's face, a portrait of anguish and relentless determination. Her breakdown is messy, unfiltered, but in her vulnerability there is strength. The officers, shaken, exchange glances and begin to review the evidence anew. A sense of urgency reignited. In the face of heartbreak, a mother's love becomes unstoppable. Linda's confrontation shatters the walls of bureaucracy, forcing the investigation back into motion. The search for Emma is no longer just a case file, it's a promise, burning brighter than ever. The music swells as the scene fades, echoing the relentless hope that refuses to be silenced. As the investigation surges forward, a late-night audit of old case files uncovers something chilling. In the dim glow of a computer screen, Detective Harris scrolls through records, his eyes widening with disbelief. A name, one that should have been just another line in the suspect's past, appears again and again in connection with Officer Reed, a respected member of the investigation team. Cut to a shadowy montage photographs from a police charity gala, security logs from the Red Lantern Inn, even a grainy image from the hidden camera footage. In each, Officer Reed and the suspect linger at the edges, sometimes exchanging glances, sometimes standing just a little too close. The realization hits hard. Harris's hands tremble as he prints out the evidence, heart pounding with betrayal. He remembers Reed's subtle deflections during briefings, the way he steered conversations away from certain leads. The camera zooms in on Harris's conflicted expression, a mix of anger, disbelief, and fear. Cut to Linda, restless in her living room, the weight of hope and dread pressing down. Her phone buzzes. Harris's voice is urgent, almost breaking. "Linda, there's something you need to know. Someone on our team, someone we trusted, may have been working against us all along." The music pulses. The screen flickers between Reed's stoic police portrait and the suspect's shadowed face. The betrayal is a knife twisting in the dark, a secret alliance that may have cost them everything. In the search for truth, a hidden connection threatens to unravel the investigation from within. The enemy isn't just out there, it may be closer than anyone ever realized. In the wake of betrayal, the family gathers. Quiet, subdued, shadows flickering across tired faces. Linda sits at the kitchen table, her hands wrapped around a cold mug, eyes unfocused. Emma's younger brother, silent beside her, glances at the empty chair where Emma once sat. The air is thick with memories and words left unspoken. Photos of Emma, smiling, laughing, full of life, are scattered on the table. The investigation has ended, but the answers remain incomplete. Outside, rain patters against the window, blurring the world beyond, as if the truth itself is just out of reach. Linda's voice cracks as she speaks, her words trembling in the stillness. "We did everything we could, but some things you never get back." Her husband squeezes her hand, his grip both an anchor and a plea for strength. The camera lingers on the family, the pain etched in their faces. The news plays softly in the background. Another update, another theory, another promise of justice. But in this room, hope and grief are tangled, impossible to separate. As the scene fades, the unanswered questions echo in the silence. Who else knew? What secrets remain buried? And will they ever truly know what happened to Emma? Sometimes the truth hides not in what we discover, but in what remains just beyond our grasp. The story ends, but the silence lingers, haunted by echoes of what's lost and the shadows of what we may never find. The camera lingers on Linda as she stands at Emma's memorial, the morning sun casting a gentle glow. The community gathers, united by the journey they've shared. Linda's voice trembles with gratitude and sorrow as she thanks those who never gave up. The truth, though painful, has brought peace. Emma's story has changed lives, inspiring others to seek justice and cherish loved ones. As the crowd disperses, Linda looks skyward, a single tear falling, but a faint smile breaking through. The case is closed, but the love endures. Fade out to soft, hopeful music, leaving the audience with a sense of healing and hope.